Let's dive deep into this journey together. A blend of animal wisdom, life lessons, surprising facts, and, well, a few laughs. Lessons from animals, what they teach us about life. Let's get into details. The ant purpose in the smallest tasks. Ants don't hit snooze. They wake up, probably still dreaming of crumbs, stretch their 6 legs, and get to work like little overachieving robots. They don't question why they're building a tunnel or carrying that chunk of leaf that's 3 times their body weight. They just do it. Lesson purpose isn't always grand. Sometimes it's about doing small things with great intent, like making your bed, or returning the shopping cart, or sending that awkward, "Hey, just checking in" text. Fun fact, leafcutter ants can carry 50 times their body weight. If humans could do that, we'd be lifting cars, or finally bringing in all the groceries in one trip. Funny take. Ever seen one ant just wandering off from the colony? No. Even the rebellious ones end up inventing ant punk rock in a highly structured community center. The dog loyalty, joy, and living in the moment. Dogs are the emotionally available best friends we all need. They don't hold grudges, they don't overthink texts, and they don't care if you've worn the same sweatpants 3 days in a row. Lesson: live in the moment. Forgive quickly, love openly, chase more metaphorical sticks. Opinion: if humans approached relationships like dogs do, therapy would be cheaper and the world would have more tail wags, and maybe fewer lawsuits. Fun fact: a dog's sense of smell is up to 100,000 times more sensitive than a human's. This explains their obsession with your crotch. To them, it's like sniffing a biography. Funny take. Imagine if we all greeted each other like dogs. Sniff first, ask questions later. Society would collapse, but we'd all be so emotionally in sync. The cat boundaries and self-worth. Cats don't people please. They'll love you, but on their terms. They don't care if you're a CEO or a dishwasher. If you disrespect them, they'll knock your coffee off the table and stare you down. Lesson: boundaries are sexy. Confidence is magnetic. Never beg for attention. Be the attention. Fun fact: cats purr not just when they're happy, but also to heal. Frequencies in a cat's purr promote tissue regeneration. These little Zen masters are literally vibrating themselves into wellness. Funny take. A cat will ignore you all day, then sit on your face at 3 a.m. It's like living with a moody yoga instructor. Elephants remember, not just water holes and migration paths, but also each other. They mourn the dead, comfort the grieving, and form lifelong bonds. If elephants had social media, their on-this-day memories would wreck them emotionally. So, connection really matters. Grief is a sign of love. And memory, both joyful and painful, is part of being deeply alive. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Elephants can recognize themselves in mirrors. This is super rare in the animal kingdom and suggests high levels of self-awareness. Honestly, some humans still struggle with this. And just for laughs, elephants are like your one friend who remembers everything, including that embarrassing thing you did back in 2011, and they'll totally bring it up at your wedding. Sloths have, totally hacked the game. They move slowly, sleep a lot, and mind their own leafy business. And yet, they thrive. They don't sprint, they don't hustle, and they don't spiral into existential dread, probably. So here's the lesson. Slow down. You're not missing out. You're soaking in. Rest isn't laziness, it's actually wisdom. And get this, sloths have such slow digestion, they only poop once a week. It's a big deal. They even climb down from the trees just to do it with dignity. Honestly, a sloth spirit animal is probably a hungover college student who just discovered meditation and almond milk. The octopus is like an 8-armed genius. It can open jars, solve puzzles, and escape from tanks. They literally change their appearance based on mood or surroundings. That's evolution with flair, if you ask me. So, be curious. Adapt. And if you ever feel weird, just embrace it. You're probably a genius in disguise. Here's a fun fact. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. If that's not goth royalty, I don't know what is. And imagine if humans could squirt ink and vanish when stressed. Every awkward social interaction would end in a puff of black mist. Bees don't just make honey, they make entire civilizations. They communicate through these quirky dances, work in sync, and honestly, they just get that is the key to survival. So here's the thing, life is sweeter when shared. Everyone has a role. The hive thrives when each bee does its bit, even if that bit is just waggle dancing directions to the good flowers. Oh, and here's a fun fact. It takes the nectar of 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey. That's teamwork. And maybe just a little bit of obsessive-compulsive pollen collection. And, bees are basically the original rave dancers. Just a whole society built on shaking your butt for information. The turtle. Longevity and patience. Turtles aren't in a rush, and honestly, they live forever. Okay, not forever, but Galapagos tortoises can live over 150 years. They carry their homes, mind their paths, and move with this, deliberate grace. So, here's the lesson. Go at your own pace, you'll get there. Don't race the hare, just keep walking. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. That's not a joke, it's called cloacal respiration. Nature is wild. And, imagine trying to explain that fact to your doctor. I just feel like I'm not breathing enough. Back there. The crow. Intelligence and revenge. Crows hold grudges. They remember faces. They mourn their dead. They use tools. Basically, they're just a few steps away from starting a podcast. Here's the lesson. Intelligence can be quiet and subtle. Don't underestimate anyone, especially the ones watching silently from a power line. Fun fact, crows can pass knowledge down to their young. That means they teach. They literally have crow universities. And oh, never flip off a crow. They'll remember your face, your car, your Wi-Fi password, all of it. The dolphin. Play, language, and empathy. Dolphins are the cool kids of the sea. They have names for each other, they form cliques, and they love to surf just for fun. And they help each other, even when injured. Lesson here, play is essential. Empathy is powerful. And language, in all its forms, connects us in these deep ways. Fun fact, dolphins have been observed using sea sponges as tools to protect their snouts while foraging. Functional fashion, right? Dolphins are basically wet extroverts with better sonar. If they had phones, they'd FaceTime you unprompted. Final thoughts, what it all means. Animals aren't just cute background characters in Earth's story. They're sages in fur, feathers, and scales. They remind us of the simple truths we forget in our hyper-digital, overly scheduled, constantly anxious lives. Want meaning? Watch a bee. Listen to a whale. Sit with a dog. Sometimes the greatest wisdom isn't in ancient scrolls or self-help books. It's in watching a cat knock over a plant just because it can. So what can you do with these lessons? Be more like a dog, love hard, forgive quickly. Be more like a cat, know your worth. Be more like a sloth, rest with intention. Be more like a bee. Find your people and make sweet things. And most of all, be human, but be better. By remembering we're still part of nature's class, still learning.